Welcome to Kruk and Kuip Extra Innings. As tonight the Giants lose to the D-backs 2-1. You can follow me at robeyman@twitter.com. Tonight's loss was not the most important thing of tonight's game. We had some scary shit tonight happen with Brandon Belt. As Brandon Belt was hit by a pitch by Anthony Banda. Thank goodness it was a curve. He got hit in the head with a curveball and was forced to leave the game. And it's looking like he's already going to have concussion symptoms already. And it's very likely tomorrow he will be placed on the concussion DL. We'll find out tomorrow the extent of the concussion. But if I were the trainers and management, and this is too bad. This is really too bad. Is that Belt was going to maybe have his first 20 home run season, and now that could very likely be derailed by this concussion. And with his history of concussions, I don't think he should come back this season. I think they need to shut him down. It's not worth it in this lost season. It's time to shut down Belt. And Belt may have to maybe start evaluating his future. And Belt's just has, I think this is his fourth concussion. So he may have to really take a hard look with this fourth concussion if it's maybe time to hang it up. As much as I'd like to see him play baseball and stuff and see him make a speedy recovery for next year, but when you start getting to when you've had 4 concussions, you really maybe have to take a hard look here, sit down and start evaluating the long-term future and whether or not you can handle playing baseball or not. And with this 4th concussion, I wouldn't totally be surprised if he does maybe make the decision to call it a career after this year. And I don't want him to come back this year. It's nothing against him. I just think he should just shut down the rest of the season. Management should shut him down for the rest of the year. There's really no point in trying to rush him back for the rest of the season. But I really think his career could be in jeopardy. This is one where he's going to have to evaluate, sit down, and talk to the rest of the family about. And it's games like these that still makes me think they did the right thing, get him off the field, and this is what concussions have to do. This is where I'd like to see neurologists in the dugout. This is something that MLB should consider, is having independent neurologists in the dugout. And any batter that's been hit in the head. And I think this is one where trainers are starting to get it right, is making sure players, if they do get hit in the head with a helmet, that they don't come back on the field for the remainder of the game. That certainly has to be the mandatory requirement. Any baseball that's hit in the helmet, the player does not come back on the field for the remainder of the game. And they do have to go into a mandatory concussion protocol and be cleared by a neurologist before they can resume any baseball activities. That's how I'd feel about concussions. This is where the NFL's going. Concussions are tricky. You might not feel them the next day, but it's just concussion symptoms. Concussions are very tricky, and what we've become advanced in modern medicine about concussions. Concussions are no joke. And when somebody is dealing with concussions, I think the 7-day deal has to become mandatory for any player that's been hit in the helmet. I think that should become very mandatory. And you really have to start protecting your players on concussions. At least it's not as bad as, say, the NFL, where football's more of a contact sport. But still, getting hit with a baseball in the helmet is almost as bad as getting helmet-to-helmet tackles. And that's one thing that the NFL and NHL has done really good, is trying to eliminate high hits and stuff to try to protect players. And I hope baseball starts seeing the message. But I think baseball's actually starting to get better at policing themselves on getting players off the field and making sure they don't suffer the lingering effects of concussions. Back to the game. Yeah, this is just, it's amazing how much we're getting on concussions nowadays. And concussions are no joke. And then after that, in the next frame, Bumgarner hit Jake Lamb in the ribs, so there's your retaliation. Other than that, Hunter Pence 2 for 3. Paul Goldschmidt did most of the damage, 3 for 4. And Banda shut down the bats, and the bullpen did the rest. And Bumgarner, another good outing by him, just didn't get the run support. Now the question is, who's going to take over Belt's place? I think in the short term, you're going to probably see maybe Stratton's activation. Might be how it goes. You might see Chris Shaw. I'd like to maybe see Chris Shaw get a look. Probably going to see a lot more of Ryder Jones at first. Another possibility is they might bring up Pablo Sandoval tomorrow and have Pablo play third, or Hai-Young Huang. I'd be leaning towards maybe giving Pablo a look, see if Pablo has anything left. But it just doesn't make anything any easier now that with Brandon Belt's season likely over, and maybe his career could be over. Who knows? But we'll see who takes his roster spot, and tomorrow will be Chris Stratton, so maybe just for the short term, see what the final results are tomorrow. Well, hopefully things will be better. All right, let's go to games from around the league today. The Nationals beat the Cubs 4-2. Your winning pitcher, Tanner Rourke. Your losing pitcher, Kyle Hendricks. Daniel Murphy, 2 for 3 for the Nationals. Howie Kendrick, 2 for 3. 3 for 4 for Murphy, excuse me. And Rourke, not a bad outing. Hendricks didn't do too bad. He just didn't get any run support tonight. The Reds beat the Cardinals 3-2. Your winning pitcher was Asher Wojciechowski. Losing pitcher, Mike Leake. The Tigers beat the Orioles 5-2. Your winning pitcher, Justin Verlander. Losing pitcher, Michael Givens. And for Baltimore, Tim Beckham went 4 for 4 with a home run in this game. And Givens blows a good outing by Kevin Gausman, giving up 4 earned runs in 1 inning pitched. The Pirates beat the Padres 10-6. Your winning pitcher was A.J. Schugel. Your losing pitcher was Kirby Yates. Josh Harrison went 3 for 5 in this game. And Gregory Polanco with a pinch hit, which happened to be a home run. And not a good outing for Yates, allowing 6 earned runs in 1/3 inning pitched. Joaquin Benoit, 2 earned runs in 2/3 innings pitched. The Indians beat the Yankees 7-2. Your winning pitcher, Trevor Bauer. Your losing pitcher, Jaime Garcia. And 6 runs, 5 earned in 4 2/3 innings for Garcia in his debut in the Bronx. The Red Sox beat the White Sox 3-2 in 11 innings. Winning pitcher, Heath Hembree. Your losing pitcher, Aaron Bummer. Nicky Delmonico, 3 for 5 for the White Sox. And Eduardo Nunez hit his 3rd home run as a Red Sox in this game. One earned run in 2/3 innings for Bummer. And the LA Dodgers beat the Mets 6-0. Your winning pitcher in his Dodgers debut was Yu Darvish. 7 innings of shutout work and 10 strikeouts. And your losing pitcher, Jacob deGrom. Corey Seager, 3 for 4 in this game. And Josh Smoker, 2 earned runs in 1/3 inning pitched. The Brewers blanked the Rays 2-0. Your winning pitcher was Brandon Woodruff. Your losing pitcher was Jacob Faria. Orlando Arcia, 3 for 3 in this game for the Brewers. Logan Morrison, 3 for 4 for the Rays. And this was Woodruff's good Major League debut for Woodruff. 0 in 6 1/3 innings pitched. The Braves beat the Marlins 5-3. Your winning pitcher, R.A. Dickey. Your losing pitcher was Adam Conley. And Kirk Suzuki with a pinch hit. Ichiro Suzuki. Justin McGowan, an earned run in 2/3 innings pitched. And then Brandon Flowers gets hit twice by Conley. The Twins beat the Rangers 8-4. Your winning pitcher was Bartolo Colon. Your losing pitcher was Martin Perez. 3-4 for Elvis Andrus for the Rangers. 3-5 for Brian Dozier for the Twins. Miguel Sano 2-3. And Dozier had 2 home runs in this game. And Bartolo Colon managed to pitch a complete game for the Twins. And Perez, 7 earned runs and 4 2/3 innings pitched. And the Texans beat the Argonauts 16-7. Your winning pitcher was Brad Peacock. Your losing pitcher was Cesar Valdez. Kendrys Morales 3-4 for the Blue Jays. Josh Reddick 3-4 for the Astros. Yuri Gurriel 3-3 for the 3-3. Tyler White 4-5. Gurriel had a home run in this game. And White had 2 home runs in his, looks like his debut for the Astros. Peacock did get his 10th win, but he did allow 7 earned runs and 6 innings pitched. Valdez, 6 earned runs and 3 1/3 innings pitched in a spot start. Matt Dermody, 2 earned runs and 1/3 inning pitched. Mike Bolsinger, 4 earned runs and 1/3 inning pitched. And this would have been one of those games where you probably should have just, where the Toronto might have been better off using a position player. The Mariners beat the Royals 5-2. Your winning pitcher, James Paxton. Your losing pitcher, Jason Hamill. And Buchter and Maurer both gave up earned runs. So the Padres cast off, still doing their damage in Kansas City. The Rockies beat the Phillies 4-3. Your winning pitcher was Mike Dunn. Your losing pitcher was Luis Garcia. Nick Williams 3-4 for the Phillies. And Kyle Freeland only went 1/3 inning pitched and left the game with an injury, so hopefully he won't be out too long for Colorado. They can't be, this is the worst time for them to be losing starters. And the Angels beat the A's 8-6. Your winning pitcher, former A's pitcher Jesse Chavez. Your losing pitcher, Daniel Colome. Mike Trout 3 for 4 for the Angels. Ben Revere 2 for 3. Troy Scribner got the spot start, 5 runs, 2 earned. And Colomb 3 earned runs without recording an out. And down on the farm tonight, the River Cats lose to the Storm Chasers 4-1, so the hitting woes are not just in the majors, it's also in the minors at this point. Casey Kelly, your losing pitcher, 4 earned runs in 6 innings pitched. Christian Binford, your winning pitcher, Mac Williamson 2 for 3 in this game. Tim Fedorowicz, who I think will be up with the Giants sooner than later at this point. And now a look at your standings. With Boston now up to 3 games on New York, with Tampa Bay and New York still bunched together for the wild card. Cleveland's now up 3.5 games on Kansas City. Kansas City still barely hanging on to the second wild card over Tampa Bay. And then Seattle gaining a little ground tonight with their win, now a game and a half back. And the Angels have now kind of started creeping into the wild card, 2 games back at 55-55. So the Angels are starting to make some noise. And Nationals continue to run away with the NL East. And Chicago, leading the Central's only a half a game on Milwaukee now, as Milwaukee refuses to go away. And then LA and Arizona, Colorado still tied up the 2 wild cards. And the Giants, who cares? And as I said, your starters tomorrow are Chris Stratton against Taijuan Walker. So I wish Stratton a lot of luck, as he's going to get some opportunities to start down here in the final months of the season. And we will see who comes up tomorrow, and we'll see if Chris Shaw gets his opportunity here. Thank everybody for tuning in for this late edition. I am going to sleep. Keep it orange, keep it black, keep it orange and black. Together we're giant. Good night.